If you have been following my latest videos, you probably have already realized that I'm not a blister collector. As you can see here in the back, I usually open all my models. But the truth is that I have a serious lack in unboxing them because I have a bunch of them in storage and in boxes. So today, to remedy some of that lack, we are having something really exciting. I'm unboxing 15 Hot Wheels that are covering almost 2 decades of releases, from 1993 until 2011. We have concept cars, legendary racers, and even a couple of super treasure hunts. The lineup is full of nostalgia, futuristic designs, and most importantly, a bunch of history. So, grab a drink, get comfy, and let's start. Okay, let's start with this one, and let's take us back to the 90s supercar era. This one is the Jaguar XJ220. As you can see, this is a new model. It was the first edition, the first time that it was released in the Hot Wheels mainline, and it was released in 1993, more than 30 years ago. And as you can see, it's in a really good shape, the card and everything, for being such an old car. So now I'm going to proceed to the unboxing of it. So this is the monster freed from his cage. The name of the car is XJ220 because it was supposed to be the first production car to ever reach the 220 km/h. It didn't. It only reached 217, but it didn't matter because it was still the fastest production car ever made when it was released, of course, because after it came the McLaren F1 and took the throne. But as you can see, the car is sleek and aerodynamic, and I think that Hot Wheels really capture the essence of the car. A lot of times in this era you can see that the car is a little bit higher than it should be, the body looks a bit chunkier, but in this case I think that Hot Wheels managed to capture the low stance of the car, but also as I said, the sleek and aerodynamic design of it. The wheels, well, if you are an old guy like me, you know which wheels are we seeing here right now, because these were the common wheels of all the Hot Wheels in the 90s. These are called the Ultra Hot or the UH wheels, and as I said, almost every single model of Hot Wheels in the 90s was using these wheels. Now the reason why I wanted to add this one to my collection, well, I already had one XJ220. It was released like a few years ago, I don't remember the exact year, but I wanted this one. I wanted the first edition because it has this metal flake silver color, as you can see, and this one is a really similar color than the one that Jaguar used when they released the real car. So I wanted to have something a little bit more accurate and related to the first real model. And next up, something wild. Look at this wedge-shaped beast. This is the Vector Aftech WX3. This was a full American ambition in the world of the supercars on the 90s, just like the Jaguar XJ220. This one was also a new model, a first edition, but this one was released 1 year after, in 1994. Let me open it. The real WX3 is a successor of the W8, and it actually never made it to production. So this casting, it's a dream come true for the concept car collectors. Hot Wheels released it 4 times, but only in 2 colors. In 1993, they released it to their internal employees, 500 pieces only with this exact same color. Then in 1994, they released this one, that it was the first edition officially, because it was the first time that they were releasing it to the public. And 1 year after, in 1995, they released it again in the same color, also in the mainline. And then 1 year after, in 1996, they released it in a 5-pack in a black with red color. So if you get this baby in the wild, you need to get it because it's a really uncommon casting. Then we move to the next release. This one was done, the release was in 1995, and as you can see, the whole blister pack is a bit different. I'm going to bring one of the previous ones. So even it says in the top, this is a new look. This one was the older one that we just unboxed. And let's talk about this car. Let me just focus it better, because now we are entering in a little bit of a NASCAR flair. This is the Lumina Stoker, as you can see here in the top. And of course, this takes us back to the golden age of the oval racing. Even before I open it, I can feel that it's it has some weight on it, it's heavy, and that is because we have metal base on metal body, which is also like a classic Hot Wheels. So let's open this. So the model is really heavy, it's like heavier than the other two that I just unboxed, and this one, as I was saying, was released in 1995, and for our surprise it was released in 1995 only. But not just in one edition, it was, you see this kind of a light blue color on the car. There was also another release in the main line with a darker blue color instead of this light. There was also included in a 5-pack in the same year, in 1995, and they used the casting another 2 times in promotional releases for other brands in different colors, so those ones might be a little bit more difficult to get. The casting is essentially a modified version of the Pontiac Stoker that was released in the previous years. They just took the Pontiac Stoker and adjusted it, and especially in the front you will see the big difference between the two. The rest of the car looks pretty similar. And something that I realized in my model, and the model that you are seeing here, is this big space between the wheel, the back wheel, and the fender. And this is because the car is supposed to have a bigger wheel in the back. You see in the pure Hot Wheels style, the front wheel is small, the back wheel it's a little bit bigger, but mine has same size wheels. I was trying to look for in eBay or in Google if there was another release, or if it was a common release, or it was like intended like this, and it seems that it was a mistake, so probably I have an error.
Okay, I just paused the video here because the rest of this clip, my microphone didn't work. I don't know exactly why, maybe it just was out of battery or something like that, or it just didn't sync, but I cannot find the recording back, so I will have to do kind of a voiceover, so probably the quality of the audio will be bad. Of course it will not match with the previous one, but I just wanted to give you this information because the end of this clip was not that important. But of course the next clip, the next car, was all recorded without the microphone, so I will have to do the voiceover for the whole car. So sorry for that, don't worry, after that, the next clip, it's okay. So just one car, please survive and bear with me. Now we make a jump to the new millennia, and here is one car that you don't see every day. This is the Tomasima 3, and it was released for the first time in 2000. Now, after years you are seeing it, I'm going to start the unboxing and I'm going to make the sound. Thank you for bearing with me, the car is freed. This is a really obscure Italian car, and that was built over a Ferrari by Tom Meade. Tom Meade was a Ferrari engineer, and he created 2 cars in the past, the Tomasima 1 and the Tomasima 2. These ones I think that were built over race cars and for specific customers. The Tomasima 3 was the first car that he did kind of because he wanted, probably with some idea in mind that he was going to sell it, but he loved it so much that he kept it. There is only one of these cars in the world. Now it is in the Ferrari Museum, and it was released in dark red color. That's why I believe that this is the best edition, the first edition in 2000, because it was the only one released in dark red, because the model was released again in 2001 and 2002 with blue and teal colors respectively, and then it was released once again in 2005 in black with flames. So for me, this is the best one.
Guys, something that I realized after finishing the filming of the Tomasima 3 is that here in the base, Hot Wheels added the name of the designer, Tom Meade. This was the designer of these Tomasima cars, and I think that it's a really nice gesture from Hot Wheels to add the name of the designer of this unique piece as a part of the heritage of the model. Now, we remain in the year 2000. In that year there was a lot of transition to new technologies, let's say. And before, all the superheroes were animated cartoons, and then we moved to the computer animation. And one of those superheroes was Max Steel. And this, the MX-48 Turbo, was the car that Max was using in the show. Let me open it for you. This is actually not my first MX-48 Turbo. I had one before from 2008. I started collecting Hot Wheels mainlines in 2007, so in 2008 when I saw the MX-48 for the first time I got it. But I wanted to get this version because this is the version that Max Steel is actually using in the show. This kind of a bluish or dark bluish color. I don't know if it's blue or I'm really bad with colors, but yeah, it's I think that it's the dark blue. This is the car that he was using, and you can see here in the hood the NTEC logo. It was the company that developed the technology that basically made Max Steel a superhero, right? The car is also a first edition, like the one before, from the year 2000. Now we are going to continue with the retro racing movement. We saw the luminous stock car from NASCAR, but we are now going even farther back in time to go and see this beautiful Ferrari 156. This one I got it like really recently, like 1 or 2 months ago in a market exchange for collectors in Czech Republic. I got it for really like a really good price, considering how much you need to pay in eBay for the model, plus the shipping, plus taxes, etc, etc. So the price was really good, so I was really happy that I was able to get it. As you can see, this is a short card. I don't know exactly if the distribution has anything to do. When I was living in Mexico and in America in general, the cards are long, like the ones that you have seen, and the reason why I have long cards here is because I bought them through eBay mostly. This one I got here, so I assume that this was a European release, and what I have seen so far with the store and everything is that the cars here are usually short, and this one it is the same. So let's open this baby. You have, if you are asking why does it have this masking tape, some collectors add this to their close releases. I assume that to protect them a bit from the sunlight, so to protect more the card. But in my case, well, I opened them anyway, so let's check it. This little model is a legend from the F1 world. Recently I did a video of all the F1 cars that Hot Wheels is releasing in this year, 2025, probably you saw that one. But this model from F1 is one of the first that Hot Wheels released ever. It's from the 2001, this is a first edition as well. As I said, it's a Ferrari 156, aka the shark nose. And of course, like, I think that you can see why it's called the shark nose, right? The car was released a few times more after the 2001 with different colors, but I believe that this version is the best, this first edition with the number 2, because this, the Ferrari 156 with the number 2 in red, was the car that Phil Hill was driving in the 1961 championship. The model is not that heavy because it's of course super slim, but it has a metal base and a metal body, which is great. Of course, the model was discontinued when Hot Wheels lost the Ferrari license, so the question remains, now that Hot Wheels got the Ferrari license back, are we going to see the 156 doing a comeback? Now we're going to go with our first super treasure hunt. When I bought it in eBay, it already came with the clamshell included, so firstly we are going to release it from here. This one is also part of the 2001 mainline, and at that time the super treasure hunts were not like special releases, meaning the sense that there was a normal release or normal edition car and then there was a version that was a super treasure hunt. No, in that time there was, I will focus on this, there was a collection that it was part of the mainline that was the super treasure hunt series, where all the cars were the super treasure hunt. This, probably you already know, is the Rodger Dodger. The first edition of the Rodger Dodger was in 1974, and in 1998 there was a retool of the car. This one is the version from 2001, so of course this is the retool car. There was a slight modifications to the original casting, but in general the Rodger Dodger remained the same. Let me just open it now. Now, if you try to find a Rodger Dodger these years, you will see that it's completely different, and that is because the second retool of the casting came in 2015 and they adjust several things, and the main change was of course the engine, because this engine is completely metal. I think that it's not part of the base because the base is plastic, but this engine was metal. The new engine is plastic, and also the exhaust pipes that you have here exposed in the engine and in the hood now are coming out of the sides of the new Rodger Dodger. So this car is based on a 73 Dodge Charger SE. So this kind of slightly modified design from Hot Wheels should be all about rock and roll for me. So I love that this one is black with the wide wall tires and all the flames in the hood and extended to the roof and the trunk of the car. This is for me one of the best editions of the Rodger Dodger. That's what I wanted to get it. I have more Rodger Dodger, and I would say that the Rodger Dodger is not my favorite casting from Hot Wheels, but for some reason it seems to be following me around. Now we move from muscle to luxury. This was the first edition from 2002. We actually are going to have 3 models from 2002, 3 first editions, and we are going to talk about the first one, that is the 57 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. This car is full fins, full chrome, and full-on elegance. Probably this is the most stylish car that we are going to see today. So this car was released, as I say, in 2002, but it was used by Hot Wheels until 2016 when it was retired. But this version, this first edition with black car and the silver roof, it was based on the original limited edition model that Cadillac released in real life in 1957. How limited was the model? Well, only 400 pieces were ever produced. So for me, this is the best one because it's based on that limited edition. Now we are going to get all concept-y again with this first edition of the 2002. The name of this car officially for Hot Wheels was Hyundai Spider Concept, but the name of the real car was Hyundai Neos. It was a concept car that Hyundai released in the 2000 Paris Mondiale de l'Automobile. I know, I'm sorry for the French guys, I'm butchering this, but something like that was the name, and the concept car was never produced. The color of the first edition is based on the color of the concept car that was presented in that salon in Paris in 2002. The casting was used only 3 times more. This one from 2002, another time in the mainline in 2004, again as a mystery car in 2010, and the last time as a multi-pack in 2012. So it's not that common to see this casting released by Hot Wheels. I don't know if they will come ever again after the 2006. I think that it's a really beautiful design, really beautiful concept, and I don't know why Hot Wheels has not taken more advantage of this model. It could be some legal reasons, maybe it's too expensive to use the license. Also, that's probably why they never use the name Hyundai Neos on it. Well, difficult to say, but this is the Spider concept. And now we go to a visionary one, another first model and the last one we're going to review from 2002. This is Syd Mead Sentinel 400 Limo. And if you are feeling some sort of Blade Runner vibes on this one, that is because Syd Mead was the designer behind the visuals of Blade Runner and the first Tron movie. When I see the design of this car, it really reminds me of the old movies about the future, like Back to the Future. You know, the police car was kind of similar. But also in the Fifth Element, the flying cars were kind of in this shape. Of course, this one has wheels, so it's a bit different. And Hot Wheels released it only a couple of times and retired it in 2006, maybe also for legal reasons, because maybe Syd didn't allow them to continue using it anymore, I don't know. But if you like the retro futuristic visuals, this is the car that you need to get. We move to the Hot Wheels 2004 mainline. You see that the package is different, and we go back to the vintage racing with the forgotten legend from the early and mid 50s. This is the Cunningham C4R. The Cunningham team developed several cars for racing, but the C4R, this one was the most successful one. It participated in 51 races and won 12 of them. And it finished in the podium in another 14 occasions. So it was a really successful car back in the day. Just so you know, this is not the first edition. The first edition was released in 2001 in white color. That was the color of the real car. I got this version because I like it more, with in golden, with the red lines. I don't know, it was calling my name, but this version never existed in real life. Now we move to endurance racing in the C5R Corvette. This is an American racing legend. And the Corvette is my favorite car ever, so I needed to get this car, yes or yes. I have another version of the C5R in blue that I got in the mainline from 2009, if I'm not wrong, but I wanted to get this version specifically because of course it's the first edition from 2006, and it has this yellow color that was the color of the real car that was running in this, that was participating in these endurance races. And also I have the C7R and the C8R also in yellow, so I needed to have the whole family in this color. By the way, I butchered the name. This is not the C5R, this is the C6R. Now, after a bunch of race talk, we get back to Hot Wheels Original. This is the Hyperliner, that is some sort of hyper van made for racing, a really futuristic design. Probably it will be seen in the same movie than the Sentinel 400 Limo that we just saw. They will be participating in the same futuristic retro movie. This is not a first edition. The first edition was from 2002 and this one is from 2007, and this was part of the pop-ups collection, which means that you can move this little sleeve here and you can remove the top of the car to see the interior. In 2013 this pop-up functionality was removed, the casting was retooled, so you could no longer take the top off. And in 2014 the casting was completely retired from the Hot Wheels line. Why did I get this one? There's no specific reason, there's no historic reason. This one I just liked. Now we stay in 2007, another shortcut release, our second Corvette C6R and our second Super Treasure Hunt. This one is not a model that I was particularly looking for, but when I was looking for a model I realized that the same seller was selling this Super Treasure Hunt for a really good price, so I decided to buy it together with the model that I actually was looking for. And then when it came back I was a little bit disappointed because I realized that the model was previously open, so probably that's why it was in a really cheap price. Doesn't matter that much because when you review the model it's actually in a really good condition. It has this kind of metal flake samaki color, which is for me a really uncommon release. By 2007 the treasure hunts were working as we know today. Like, the collection is still treasure hunts, but there was a normal release, a black Corvette that is really beautiful. I would argue that maybe more beautiful than the Super Treasure Hunt version, but I don't want to be killed by other Hot Wheels fans. But then in some cases you get this Super Treasure Hunt randomly inserted, right? You can see the real rider's wheels and everything. Something that I don't like these early Super Treasure Hunt releases, I don't think the castings were made to have this type of wheels, and as you can see they were not rolling really nice. And if you're going to say probably it's just the model, it's happened also with the Rodger Dodger that I did before. So of course this one moves better, but they don't roll as freely. As I say, probably because of the clearance was made more for the plastic wheels, so when you put the two pieces wheel with the rubber tire there, then it makes it complicated. The car looks amazing, so that's what I'm keeping it. I usually don't have duplicates, but considering that this is a Super Treasure Hunt and it's a Corvette, then of course it stays in the family. And we are finishing strong with this stunner. This is the 1971 Buick Riviera, released in 2011, and is our third Super Treasure Hunt. This is already a beautiful, beautiful casting. If you can see the bolt tail design and all the details, also in the front, the type of grille, the hidden headlights. I just think that this is a really, really well executed casting. I don't think that Hot Wheels uses it enough. And this version with this color in Super Treasure Hunt, it looks just amazing. And this is the good thing. As you can see here, where probably, I don't know if it was already on purpose, but you see that the clearance on the wheels, even when they are Super Treasure Hunts, is already fixed. So this is an amazing addition to the collection. Alright, so that's a wrap for today. 15 amazing Hot Wheels from obscure concepts to legendary classics. I also gave you a bit of history of each one of the cars and the reason why I wanted to add them to my collection in the first place. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and which one will you add to your collection. And if you like this deep dive, then hit like, subscribe and stay tuned. A lot of more Hot Wheels content is coming your way every week. That is if I manage my time properly. Until then, my name is JR. Thanks for being here and see you next time. Adios.